I want to get you right to this breaking news, a deadly hit and run along the 15.
This is along the northbound lanes near the 56. News 8's Chris Groh is live with the very latest. Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, and we're just off the 56 at the Sabre Springs MTS Park and Ride area. You can see the 15 signs right here behind us, but let's show you what this crash scene looked like. Again, this happening sometime around 2 a.m., up to maybe 3 cars involved in this, and what we're being told so far by CHP is that this could have involved a black Ford F-150, a Kia Optima, but then an unknown vehicle, and it's likely then that that unknown vehicle left this scene. So again, we are trying to get confirmation on that, but this does appear to be a hit and run, and it does appear that someone may not have sadly made it, because we do understand that the medical examiner was called to this crash scene, which again generally insists that there was someone killed. Now again, we are trying to confirm a lot of these details at this time, but that scene has since been cleared. The scene that you're looking at right now is no longer on the 15. However, traffic, because of that backup, still taking quite some time there to get back to normal. So your morning commute here from the North County could be a little bumpy today, this morning. However, likely to get pretty cleared relatively soon from now. But back out here live again, we are working to confirm the details right now, exactly who may have been injured or potentially even worse. So as soon as we do have that information, we'll be sure to let you know. We're excited. Back to you now, Eric and Stella.
And let's go ahead and check in with Jenny.
Yeah, so you heard, Chris, with this story, there are a lot of details still unconfirmed, but here's what I can confirm for you. We're still dealing with some slight backups there. All your lanes should be open. Chris Groh is live there. There was a tow truck, there was a street sweeper. Everyone should be gone from the scene. But if I put it in a perspective here, I'll zoom in closer. You're still going to kind of feel the burn here. You're down to 22 miles an hour starting at about Scripps Ranch Boulevard. As you continue northbound, you can see it gets progressively worse. You're still down to about 10 miles an hour on average, just in some junctures as you're approaching the 56. I'm going to tell you that this is going to start to break apart pretty quickly, because again, all your lanes are back open. But regardless, we're still facing roughly an 11-15 minute setback on that northbound 15 approaching the 56. Zooming out, for the most part, everything else is okay. The 805, the 5 up to the North County. I do want to mention this particular crash off of your freeways. This is south of the 78, impacting Highland Valley Road. We've got a crash here. We've got reports of deer in the road as well. So this is impacting the westbound drive off to the right-hand shoulder right after Old Coach Way. Everything else to the South County looks good. Netta.
Deer on the road. Okay. Taking a look at our skies right now over Cardiff. Of course, we're still dealing with a little bit of the darkness, waiting for the sun to come up, but overall, not much cloud coverage other than on the east side of our mountains. We're seeing some high clouds, so not really dealing with the marine layer this morning. Here's our east-facing camera over at Mount Woodson, and sunrise time will be at 6:38 this morning, sunset at 6:43. So now our days are shrinking. We had equal day, equal night yesterday as we started the new fall season. This is now San Miguel's view towards the east, and look at those little clouds that you see right there, just kind of making for artwork across our skies this morning. What we're dealing with today, cooler weather, weak low developing, so temperatures dropping 5 to 15 degrees compared to that heat of yesterday. That is now a thing of the past. We're going to be more in the 80s for most of our county today. A chance of afternoon showers for the mountains and deserts as we watch for the chance for thunderstorms to form over the high elevations, and then a larger trough is coming in next week. Temperatures are going to be even cooler. So I'll get into the details of how cool we're going to get, but the bigger picture, you see some moisture over Mexico, and that's what's sending in some of those clouds this morning. Stella and Eric.
Netta, thank you. This morning, booster shots for the COVID vaccine are back in the spotlight. The FDA has authorized Pfizer booster shots for some groups.
And today, a CDC panel will take up this matter. News 8's Allison Royal is live in Courtney Mesa now with a closer look at what we can expect here today. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Eric. So the ball is now in the CDC's court, right? It will decide how these vaccine booster shots could possibly be distributed amongst Americans and what that order is going to look like. But a doctor from UC San Diego said, hey, be patient and trust the advice of your doctor, and don't go ahead and mix different types of vaccines.
Please do not mix vaccines. It's kind of like mixing antibiotics for an infection. You're going to create, it's not going to be a good outcome.
So a lot of Americans have very fair questions about the possibility of booster shots. Keep in mind, we are talking about the Pfizer vaccine in particular here. Both Johnson & Johnson and Moderna are not as far along in the process, and granted, those two still have not received full FDA approval in general, just that emergency use authorization. Some doctors said a booster could possibly serve as kind of a refresher, like when you go back to school at the end of summer and you need a refresher on math. Well, your body could work in the same way and would need a reminder on how to defend itself. According to the FDA, booster shots would likely be available first to Americans that are 65 years old and older, and people with pre-existing conditions, followed by people that work in some of those high-risk environments. However, this is the CDC's call. So back out here live, the CDC is going to meet today and tomorrow to discuss this, and we'll see how it all pans out. For the latest updates, we're going to give it to you here and, of course, on our website, which is cbs8.com. But if this all goes according to plan, the possibility is that these booster shots could arrive in San Diego within a week. I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you, too.
All right, thanks for that, Allison. Local charter Urban Discovery Schools is now requiring students 12 and older to get the COVID vaccine in order to attend in-person classes. This will be the first public school in San Diego County to do this. Students have until November 21st to be vaccinated. Those who don't have their shots can still do virtual learning. Urban Discovery Schools has 600 students, K through 12. And today, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria will make a ban on ghost guns a future law here in San Diego. This comes after City Council passed an ordinance last week to make buying, selling, or owning of gun parts without a serial number illegal. The ordinance will be signed into law today, but will take effect on October 14th. And some people in Rancho Bernardo are angry after learning the state is eyeing their community to house a sexually violent predator. Here he is, 78-year-old Douglas Badger. He has been convicted of a string of sex offenses. He was also diagnosed with a mental condition, making him likely to reoffend. He could possibly move into a home on Frondoso Drive. Residents say it is not a suitable neighborhood for him.
You can't move a person like this to this kind of a neighborhood.
To place one in an enclosed community where there are a lot of young children with a Poway Unified School bus stop 3 blocks away that they walk to, no.
A placement hearing is scheduled for October 29th. Public comments will be accepted starting September 30th.
A search is intensifying this morning for Brian Laundrie after the death of his fiancée, Gabby Petito. Specialized dive teams have just joined the search at a vast nature preserve in Florida. Investigators say his parents claim they last saw him more than a week ago. Petito went missing during a cross-country trip, and her body was discovered in Wyoming. A preliminary autopsy found her death to be a homicide. Texas law enforcement have created what the governor calls a steel barrier using their vehicles to stop migrants from crossing the border. And we're just getting the word here that Biden administration's special envoy to Haiti has resigned as a protest of deportations of Haitian migrants. More than 1,400 people have been deported to Haiti since Sunday. Nearly 5,000 migrants are still camped out in Del Rio, Texas. But CBS News has learned that the agency has released more than 1,000 migrants into the U.S. to process their asylum claims.
Taking a look at our weather, here is Netta. It is going to be cooler today.
Yes, it will. You're going to notice that, especially that heat of yesterday. I mean, I think a lot of people will be relieved to hear that that is now in the past. We can move on away from that. Temperatures will drop about 15 degrees in some spots, so noticeable change. I'm not talking cold weather by any means, but it is going to feel more fall-like today, but that in San Diego is still fairly warm. I mean, close to 90 degrees for inland valleys. That's what we get during our fall season. So here's a look at our east-facing camera. You see Mount Woodson right there, waiting for that sun to come up, but as it starts to peek its head out, you might notice a nice array of colors. So this is just something I'll be watching for you throughout the morning hours. I love seeing those clouds that come on through. Now, your weather headlines include that chance of afternoon thunderstorms. So I do want to show you that here because we are seeing that moisture right over Mexico, but I want to take you through that rain cloud forecast model because that's also going to change things up a little bit. Yesterday, we had no cloud coverage. We had all kinds of sunshine and that heat. Today, we are going to see some high clouds coming into the mix, and then not necessarily the marine layer. That's going to appear tonight, though, most likely. Now, what's going to happen around 2, 3 o'clock today, that's when we could see those bigger clouds building over the mountains, and whenever you see that start to form, they get taller and taller, usually they give way to a pop-up thunderstorm or two. So that's what we're expecting around the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour through the evening. Again, tomorrow afternoon as well, same kind of story where we could see the pop-up thunderstorms, and their temperatures, mean, coming up, I'll get into the details of how much cooler we're going to get as we get close to this weekend, because yeah, the weekend's looking pretty nice, pretty comfortable. I'll at least give you that much.